In ELA today, we're going to continue with our story about Tomas and the library lady. So yesterday, we really worked in our partners about retelling the plot. Today, we're going to talk more about character traits and the characters in the story. Right now, you're not adding anything because I've not typed anything, Landon. Your brain should be focused on getting our task open and learning together. Let's go ahead and find our task together. Click on Activities, Assign to Class folder, and Read ELA. All right, our task is called Tomas and the Library Lady, Actions Affecting the Plot. Plot is that important word that describes the beginning, the middle, and the end of a story. Please open your task with me, and let's start by looking at slide number 1. Slide number 1 is what we looked at yesterday. It says, what is plot? Review the plot of Tomas and the Library Lady. We're going to start today by watching this Brain Pop video to help us review what is plot.
Up, up, and away! The hero flies through the sky looking for signs of trouble. Oh no! Someone's up to no good. It's the evil Dr. M. The hero comes to the rescue. He uses his powers to save the day. The citizens of Megapolis cheer for their hero. But the evil Dr. M won't stop until she steals every cell phone in the world. What an exciting book! I can't wait to learn what happens next. What is the plot of a story? A story has a few different parts. The introduction is the beginning. In the introduction, you learn about the characters, who are the people or animals in the story. The main characters in this book are the hero and the evil Dr. M. You also learn about the setting, which is where and when the story takes place. This story takes place in an imaginary city. The plot is all the events that happen in the story. A lot of things happen in this story. What is conflict? In the plot, the characters usually come up against a problem. A problem in a story is called the conflict. The characters might struggle against nature or against machines. Sometimes a character might face another character. Other times, the character might face a big fear. The conflict in this book is that the evil Dr. M wants to steal every cell phone in the world. And the hero has to stop her. What happens in a story? Many events can happen in a story. New characters might show up. They might try to solve the problem in different ways. A lot of ups and downs can happen in a story. Well, in this story, the heroes have a plan to catch Dr. M. But it doesn't work. So the characters come up with another plan. They're really excited, and they're sure it's going to work. But that plan doesn't work either. Stories can be exciting when you're not sure what's going to happen next. The events in the plot usually build up to one really big event, or climax. The climax is often the most exciting part of the story. But how does a story end? A solution is an answer to a problem. By the end of a story, characters often find a solution to resolve their problem. When I read a story, I like to take notes on the plot. I might use a story map to jot down the problem and keep track of the events in order. I also take notes on how the characters learn things and change as the plot develops. Well, in the end, or conclusion of this story, Dr. M learns that she can't steal cell phones. The heroes learn that if they work together, they can solve tough problems. But not all stories have happy endings. Sometimes the characters don't solve their problems, or they face new ones. I guess you have to read the second book to find out what happens. But I checked it out, so I get to read it first. I wouldn't do that if I were you.
All right. We have reviewed what is plot, and we know that we are focusing on the story called Tomas and the Library Lady. Yesterday, we spent a lot of time talking about the plot of this story. Today, we're going to talk more about the characters. Here are our notes on character traits. Make sure your eyes, ears, and brain are focusing on the teacher. Practice mindfulness. I want us to think about some words that describe the characters in the story. Are you ready? Using your notes on slide number 2, I want you to find a character trait that describes Tomas. Find a character trait that describes Tomas and put it in your head. All right, looking for at least 3 friends to share out a character trait that they think describes Tomas in the story. Kaylee. Tomas is you think he's good. Good is a describing word. Landon. Tomas is caring. Gloria. Tomas is kind. Honesty. Tomas is polite. Maberly. He is happy. Alicia. He is friendly. Oscar. He's adventurous. I agree with that one. Landon. He is loving. Nick. So he's busy. That's a good one. He was thinking about lots of things, imagining things in his brain. Theo. How do we describe someone who likes tigers? What's a character trait word, a describing word? So maybe he is interested. He's interested. I like that. Landon, last one. He's calm. I like those character traits to describe Tomas. Our next character we talked about yesterday is the library lady. Think about the library lady in our plot. Look at slide 2. Think of a character trait to describe the library lady. Find a character trait that you think describes the library lady. Put it in your head. Looking for third graders to share out. The library lady is blank. Let's say it in a complete sentence. Nick.
The library lady is caring.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
The library lady is caring.
Caring. The library lady is caring. Gloria. Loving. She is loving. Landon. Can you say it in a sentence? The library. Thank you so much. Oscar. Honesty. Oh, we just had the same one. Can you think of a different one? I'll come back to you. Maverly. She is nice. Angela. Friendly. Good. Anyone who hasn't gone yet?
No.
Kaylee.
The library lady is helpful.
She's helpful. Honesty, did you think of another one?
No.
Okay, Landon.
The library lady is hardworking.
Hardworking. Thank you. Nick.
The library lady is busy helping.
She was busy helping him. Alicia, did you have one? Delightful. I was thinking of the one, the library lady was considerate. She was considering Tomas. Remember when she gave him the water? She invited him in. She was considering him. She didn't know this kid. She didn't have to do that, but she was showing all of these character traits by her actions, by her words, right? We see text evidence that she is all of these traits. All right, let's go to another character. What about Papa Grande? Think about his actions. Think about what he says. Think about what he feels or what he thinks. Remember that word fast helps us remember. Feelings, actions, says, does, or thoughts. So what do we know about Papa Grande? What character trait would you say describes Papa Grande? Honesty. Okay, so Papa Grande is, Oscar?
He is cheerful.
He's cheerful, happy. Nick?
Loving.
Papa Grande is loving. Let's use a sentence, please. Landon?
Papa Grande is charming.
He's charming. I agree with that. He's easy to like. When you read it, you're like, oh, Papa Grande. Honesty.
Wait, how do you say that again?
Papa Grande.
What is that?
Or grandfather. Grandfather is?
His grandfather is sweet.
Grandfather is sweet. When you read the story, you feel a love for him. You're like, oh, what a sweet grandfather. Gloria. Lovely. Waverly.
Thoughtful.
Thoughtful. That's a really good word. Nick. So true. That is so true. Let's see. I would think of maybe the word responsible. Papa Grande is responsible. He knows that Tomas is getting old enough, and he's saying, you know what, Tomas, I think it's your turn. I think you need to go and learn how to read. So he's kind of being the one in charge. He's being responsible of Tomas. Landon? He's observant. He's paying attention. Neighborly?
The word best and the last letter.
Thoughts?
And think.
Yeah. So true. What he thinks, and he's thoughtful. Very good. All right. Thank you so much for sharing out traits about our characters. That was fun. Thank you for participating with me. Next, we're going to watch a video about our characters and motivations. This is a word that we have not talked about very much, but today we are going to focus on it. Motivations. What does that mean? When you're motivated or have a motivation. Oscar, what do you think? Shh, I cannot hear Oscar. Your voice is off and you're listening to your classmate. Thank you. Go ahead. Okay, so you're thinking about like things you do, your actions. Okay. Anyone else have an idea for motivation? What that word might mean, Kaylee?
I think motivation means like move around,
Okay, that's a good guess. It sounds sort of like movement. Motivation is why you do something. Motivation is why you do something. So when I am hungry, I make myself some food. So what's my motivation to make food? I'm hungry. It's the why. When someone says something rude to you, we are motivated sometimes to be rude back. Right? Sometimes we have good motivations, sometimes we have bad motivations. And characters and stories have motivations, why they do things. So today we're going to think about the plot of Tomas and the Library Lady. And we're going to think about the question word why. Why does Papa Grande tell Tomas to go learn to read? Why does Tomas go into the library? Why does the library lady help Tomas? We're going to be thinking of this question word why to help us understand motivations. Thinking about why does somebody do what they do? Why are they motivated to do that action? We're going to watch this video that's going to help us learn about motivations of characters in stories. I'm going to push play. Right now, you need to practice mindfulness by being focused.
How do the characters' traits and motivations contribute to the sequence of events in the text, The Story of the Three Little Pigs? In this lesson, you will learn to describe how the characters' traits and motivations contribute to the sequence of events by asking, what character trait or motivation made this event happen? Let's review. We're reading the text, The Story of the Three Little Pigs. In this story, there's a wolf who wants to eat each of the three little pigs. He eats the first two pigs, but the third pig's house is too strong to blow down. And each time the wolf tries to trick the third pig into meeting him somewhere, the third pig outsmarts the wolf and escapes without getting eaten. In the end, the wolf jumps down the third pig's chimney into a pot of boiling water. The third pig puts the lid on the pot and cooks the wolf up for dinner. Today, we're going to focus on characters' traits and motivations. Character traits are words that tell how a character looks or acts. For example, the third little pig is clever. The wolf is determined. Character motivations are the reasons characters do things. The third little pig's motivation for getting in the butter churn was to hide from the wolf. Hiding from the wolf was the reason the third little pig got inside the butter churn. The question we are focusing on today asks how the character's traits and motivations contribute to the sequence of events. The sequence of events is the order things happen in a story. For example, at the beginning of this story, the sequence of events is the three little pigs leave home, then the first pig buys straw and builds a house with it, and after that, the wolf asks to be let into the first little pig's house. Good readers understand and keep track of the sequence of events by thinking about how each key event is caused by the story's characters and by earlier key events. For example, a student might make his dad proud. That event is even easier to understand and remember if I know that the student got an A+ on a test. The student's good work on his test helps me understand why his dad is proud. The key event is even easier to understand if I know the student is hardworking and spent a long time studying for his test. So, in most stories, the key events are easier to understand and keep track of when we think about them in order, and when we pay attention to the character's traits and motivations. Today, we're going to focus on paying attention to the character's traits and motivations. We will follow 3 steps today to describe how the character's traits and motivations contribute to the sequence of events in the text.
All right, we're going to pause that video right here. What's important from this video is to know that characters have a motivation, why they do something in the story. Today, we're going to think about that. We're going to think about why Papa Grande does what he does. We're going to think about why Tomas does what he does. And why does the library lady do her actions? So let's go to slide number 3. Go to slide number 3, and we're going to have a class conversation about characters and what motivates them, the reason, the why they do something. So look at slide number 3. The first question says, what do you think motivated the library lady to get books for Thomas or Tomas? What do you think motivated the library lady to get books for Tomas? Why would she do that? What was her motivation? What was her reason? Looking for friends who have their opinion about what her motivation was. Haley.
She made a deal with
Tomas.
Tomas. She said, teach me Spanish. I will give you food.
Okay, so she thinks, I want to learn Spanish. So then if you help me, I'll help you. That maybe was her motivation. Other ideas about why she was motivated to get books for Tomas. Landon?
Because she's a nice lady.
So again, going back to the character trait. She's a loving, nice lady. She likes to help other people. So that motivates her to do nice things for others. Nick? So somebody asked her to help. Why did she decide to do it?
Because she loves her.
Maybe she wanted to help Papa Grande, so she helped get books for Tomas. Angela, why do you think she helped get books for Tomas?
So she could learn how to read.
So maybe she's motivated to teach people. Maybe she likes to see kids learn how to read. Maybe she likes to be a teacher. And she said, okay, I will help you. I will get books for you to read. Let's go to question number 2. Look at question number 2. What motivated Tomas to go into the library? Think about the reason. Think about why. Why did Tomas feel motivated to go into the library? Honesty?
Know how to read and tell stories to Papa.
Okay, so he had a desire to read. He had a desire to want to tell stories to his grandfather. Maverly?
Because Papa Bonnie said he told him, and then now like the story. So how about you go to the library and you tell us the story?
So that happened in the plot. What do you think motivated Tomas? Why do you think he decided to do that?
Because he wanted Papa Bonnie read him stories or told him stories.
So he loves learning stories. So he decided, I'm going to learn them for myself. I'm going to go to the library and learn more stories. Nick.
Not wanted to learn, someone might wanted to know some new words, more different stories.
Maybe he had a motivation to want to learn. Landon.
He wanted to learn how to read by himself.
Maybe he wanted it to be separate from Papa Grande. Maybe he wanted his own thing, right? When we get older, we don't always want to do everything with our families. Sometimes we want our own thing. We want our own space. We want to feel more grown up. Maybe Tomas was feeling like that. Maybe he was feeling independent. And he said, I'm going to do this thing by myself. I don't know. These are all good thoughts about what motivated these characters. Go to slide number 6, please. Slide number 6. We're going to do with a partner. On the right, we have a key event to the plot. Plot is what happened in the story. Oh, your eyes, ears, and brain are focused on instruction. Put your mask on, please. Thank you. The event is the library lady picked out books for Tomas to read. I want you to think about what traits and what motivations the library lady has for her to do this action. We know in the plot of the story, she picks out books for Tomas. Why? What's her motivation? What character traits explain why she would do that? We're going to do this slide with a partner. You have about 3 minutes with your partner for work time. Then we'll come back and go to our next slide. Okay? So go ahead and get onto slide number 6 and be ready. Okay, listen to what your task is for independent work. You did the library lady with your partner. Slide 8 is what you're going to do on your own today. Here is an event that happened in the plot. Tomas goes to the library a lot. I want you to list traits. I want you to write his motivation. List at least 2 traits. List 1 motivation. Why would Tomas go to the library? How does his motivations affect the plot? That is your task for work today. Slide number 8. Slide number 9 asks you a question about how the plot would change if Tomas did something differently. How would the story be different if Tomas changed his actions? Your job today is to complete slides 8, 9, and 10 to reflect on your success. That's all you have to do for independent work today. Then when you get done, you need to check that you have 12 units on Lexia or more. I am checking today before recess, 12 units or more on Lexia. That's what you can do when you are finished.